of being stabbed to death. Boo-hoo! Welcome to the Kill City Cup.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week, Leo sent me Kill City Cup. And this 2023 film was directed by Mark Robert and stars Brian Cars, April Hunter, and Brian Cage, among others, of course. The story of this movie takes place in a world where there is this authoritarian government called Mr. Kill, and he kind of rules over everything. And he puts on this wrestling competition for like the entertainment of the masses, so they don't focus on, how poor they are or whatever. And so he has like something on all of these wrestlers too. He's kind of like blackmailed them all into doing this competition, and it's always like to the death, or mostly to the death, I would say. And so they just have to wrestle for the entertainment of the masses, just like wrestling in real life. Only this time there's some crazy things that go on within the ring. There's one guy that's always using nails. There's like a priest, and he has the power of God in him. There's like a voodoo priest as well, so he can like suck the souls of people. There is the cyborg called the Machine, and that's like his ace in the hole, where he's kind of expected to win the whole competition, just kill everyone. But will he though? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. Alright, so let's discuss this movie. Well, do you like wrestling? Do you like the WWE and its, companion shows? Well, then this might be, a fun little 55-minute movie for you. It is just like, the WWE. It has these matches. It has a little introduction for each character. And it is fun, I would say, in that respect. Certainly, it gets a little goofy sometimes, or it gets a little goofier than real life with this one. The thing I liked about the wrestling is that, first of all, they are actually really good. I'll say that. These people, I guess they're like semi-pro wrestlers or something. I had never really heard of any of these people before, but they take on, new personas just for this movie, and they do it really well. They are actually like connecting with each other, and they are quite good performers that way, where they are really doing a good job on the mat. So certainly that is a big plus. And so if you are into wrestling, you'll certainly get a kick out of this one. In addition, the characters are actually really cool. They have lots of different personalities there. I think they have one guy who's like flipped his skin inside out. They have a priest. They have all of these different characters, and they certainly do work. It kind of fit together, I would say. They're so just wacky that they all have this similarity to them, where the wackiness is their, main trait. And so that certainly does work. And it's fun to see them, come into the ring. Like, that's part of the fun of watching WWE, watching these guys come into the ring and fight each other. And you can certainly be fulfilled on all of those different types of fronts with this one. Another thing I liked, because it is like a movie, they can do CGI effects on it, and I really enjoyed those ones. And they're very slight as well. They might have blood splatter on the camera or something like that, and of course that's something easy to do. They also have things like the priest, his little cross like lights up and stuff, and they suck some soul from a body, and you see the soul leave the body. And so it's these little details that add quite a bit of production to it, or at least enjoyment, I would say, where if you don't see it coming, like you're just wowed by the little things in this one. And other than that, I think the concept of it all certainly works. It's like this wrestling competition inside of like a haunted house, and I think that certainly is oddly satisfying. Like, it does meld those two kind of genres together, and so it works for what it is. It's just, a wrestling show. What else do you expect? And that brings me to what doesn't work with this movie. Well, if you don't like wrestling, then this is not a movie for you, of course. You have to enjoy wrestling. I know it's all fake, of course, and this one's a movie, so it's even super faker. And so it is one of those things where it is a niche audience, the wrestling audience. Even if you are into, haunted house stuff, maybe, I would say. But if you're not into wrestling, and certainly there's a lot of people out there who are not into it, then this certainly is going to be a movie that doesn't work for you. In addition, there are other things that are missing from, the professional level of wrestling. There is no crowd or anything like that, so you don't see any reactions or anything like that. It is part of the fun, I think, of watching WWE or whatever. And so this one does lack that. It is very much, low budget thing where they're putting it together for, entertainment. And it is entertaining. It's just like there's other wrestling. Like, I don't understand like why someone would click on this when there's like a wrestling show, I want to say most nights. What, Monday Night Raw, Tuesday night SmackDown, Wednesday night something or other, Friday night, I don't know. So I don't understand why you would like actively go to this one. And that brings me to a few other things as well, like with the the professional wrestlers. Like there's a storyline for each character. They have rivalries, all this other stuff. And this one, because it's just a 55-minute standalone thing, they don't have any of that. And that's like part of the fun of the professional wrestling shows, is that you get to see them smack talk each other. This one, there's no real smack talk. They come into the ring and they just start wrestling, right? And that is certainly like, I don't know, you do get into it, but at the same time there is something that just doesn't, I feel, click on the level that the Monday Night Raw or whatever it is works at. So the best thing I can say for it is, if you enjoy wrestling and it's one of the nights where there's no wrestling on, yeah, turn this one on. If you just want to watch some goofy, fun wrestling, if you like the video game aspect of it, and certainly there's a video game aspect of this one with like the commentator certainly has just stock things he says all the time. And so you do get that in it as well. The things he says are comical to an extent. Some things I would say are less interesting, but it all fits together to kind of be this weird wrestling movie that I never expected. Like it's such a strange concept to do it this way, where it does end up with some charm to it. As for my recommendation, well, this is a wrestling fan's delight to see all these crazy characters do all these special moves. Turn it on and press play. I think you'll enjoy it. It is a free YouTube movie, so it is on YouTube if you're looking for it. So, start your search there and press play if you can. As for my rating, well, I'm not really a wrestling fan, but I still found it mildly interesting. So I'm going to give it the 3.4. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.